Hey everybody, it's that time again for another Q&A video. Now before we get started, I just want to let you know if you want your question answered in a future Q&A, you can ask it down below in the comment section or hit me up on Twitter at orangegrove55. I take questions from both sources, Twitter and the YouTube comments. So post your question and it might be answered in a future Q&A video. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. And the first question comes from Soul Queen, and she's asking, do you get mad that Disney constantly raises pass prices, merch prices, etc., or do you know the money is going into good use? Well, thank you, Soul Queen, for the question. And I also do want to let you guys know that Soul Queen is a friend of the channel. She has her own YouTube channel. She does a lot of Disney vlogs. Check her out above. She has a lot of great content. So just make sure you give her a subscribe and check her out. So Soul Queen, to your question, do I get mad that Disney raises, pass prices? Well, I don't like it. Obviously, I don't like that I have to pay more every year for the same annual pass. But no, I don't get mad. I really don't, for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you look at the pricing for the passes through like tunnel vision, yeah, $1,400 for an annual pass is a lot of money to spend. It is. It's a lot of money for anybody. But if you compare that to other entertainment offerings, it's actually not that bad. It's actually a pretty good deal, to be honest with you. And I know a lot of you are thinking that I'm totally crazy. How is that a good deal? Well, hear me out. You go to a concert. Let's say you go to an Ariana Grande concert or a Drake concert. You're going to spend like $300, $400, $500 just for a seat, just for one seat for just a couple of hours, right? It's a lot of money just for a couple of hours. Go to Vegas. Try to go to Vegas for the weekend, just for the weekend, and spend less than $1,400. It's impossible, okay? So comparative to other entertainment offerings, one full year of Disney with all the rides, the parades, your discounted merch, the free parking, all the perks that come with that $1,400 for an entire year isn't that much, isn't that bad compared to a lot of other stuff out there like concerts and baseball games and basketball games and Vegas and things like that. So no, I don't get mad. I mean, it's a lot of money, but Disney's a huge part of my life and I'll make it happen. If I have to save up throughout the year to make that pass, I'll do it. I'll absolutely do it. But for what you're getting in return, it's really not that bad. It really isn't when you compare it to other entertainment offerings. So yeah, I don't get mad at all. I mean, I hate it. I hate having to pay more every year. I don't like paying more, but I don't get upset. I understand, why they do it, especially this year with Galaxy's Edge. I mean, and to be honest with you, the Signature Plus pass, my pass went up $200 this year before Galaxy's Edge. I was expecting a lot worse. At $1,400, that's not that bad. I was expecting like $2,000, or something out of this world crazy, because I thought they were really gonna go bonkers before Star Wars, and they didn't go as high as I thought they would. So that is good. But yeah, in short, Soul Queen, I don't get mad at all. I make do, I make adjustments, and compared to other entertainment offerings, it's really not that bad. Thank you so much for the question. And the next question comes from Kayla. And Kayla's asking, how much do you think the gondolas will make Pop Century Art of Animation's prices increase? Well, thank you, Kayla. I appreciate the question. If you're asking for an exact number, I actually don't know. I don't know how much it's going to go up, but I do know it will go up. Okay, if that Pop Century Resort gets that Skyliner stop, Disney, there's no way Disney's not going to utilize that as a selling point. So yeah, it's going to go up, unfortunately, but it will absolutely go up. I mean, the gondolas are definitely going to be a selling point and a convenience to guests. And there's zero chance that Disney will not capitalize on that and try to squeeze more money out of the guests. Unfortunately, it sucks, but I think it is inevitable. The prices will definitely go up. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate the question. And the next question comes from the Disneyland Collector. And he's asking, what do you think may happen if Space Mountain has to get new trains? What would you like to see? What's your opinion on all the new additions in Downtown Disney? And what would you do for Tomorrowland redo? Can you please shout out DCA Fanboy? That is all. Well, thank you so much. Shout out to DCA Fanboy. I appreciate the question and questions, and there's a lot here, so I'm gonna kind of organize everything. The Tomorrowland questions that you asked me. What do I think about the Space Mountain trains? For those of you that are not aware, a person was able to actually climb out of the train recently, and it caused all kinds of problems. And Disney closed the attraction for a while to kind of reassess the safety of Space Mountain. So, there's been a lot of rumors, are we going to get new trains? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get all new trains. I think what they'll do, if anything, is just kind of reconfigure, redesign the safety mechanism. So the lap bar, they'll probably redesign it. So there's zero chance that you get out, or that you can squirm your way out of it. I think that's the most of what we're going to get out of that whole situation with Space Mountain. In terms of a Tomorrowland redo, what I want is just really two things, okay? But first and foremost, I want them to stop redressing and retheming the 1960s Tomorrowland. I want them to literally bulldoze the entire Tomorrowland except for Space Mountain and build a whole new Tomorrowland. I am so tired of them redressing and repurposing these existing buildings. It's time to let it go. Like Elsa, let it go. Let all those buildings go and rebuild it. I want a new layout. I want a new design. I want new architecture. I want an actual new Tomorrowland, okay? First and foremost. And then second, I want Tron. I want them to build the Tron coaster in our Tomorrowland. I know a lot of people say, oh, it can't fit, it's too big. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. All it is a coaster. They can change the track layout to fit our Disneyland, okay? It doesn't have to be the exact same layout as Hong Kong or Florida. All it is a coaster, okay? They can alter it. They've altered rides before. They altered Tower of Terror to fit California Adventure. They can alter Tron to fit Tomorrowland here in Anaheim. So I definitely want that to come. Those are really only the two things that I really want from a new Tomorrowland. I mean, the rest of the stuff, they can figure all that out. I don't know what other kind of dark rides they might want to add. But as long as we get Tron and as long as they give us an actual new Tomorrowland aesthetically, so it looks different, I'm a happy camper. And then to address your last question, what do I think about the Downtown Disney editions? I love them. I mean, Ballast Point is, in my opinion, an improvement over Build-A-Bear. Build-A-Bear isn't really my target demo, so I didn't really ever go in there. I'm much more likely to go and have lunch and a drink over at Ballast Point. So for me, it's a win. I haven't been to the new ice cream place, the Salt and Straw. But, overall, everything looks really nice. I don't really mind any of it. I mean, they're all really good additions in my opinion. I'm really curious what they're going to do with that whole back end with the theater and ESPN Zone and Rainforest Cafe. Now that they're not going to build that huge hotel, I am kind of interested in that. But I'm sure they'll figure something out. They have a lot of venues that they've used in Disney Springs that they can bring over here, so I'm not too worried about it. Overall, the Downtown Disney editions for me have been a big thumbs up. I think they've been great. Thank you so much. I appreciate your question, Disneyland Collector. And the next question comes from Guy Disney. And he's saying, do a video and give us your thoughts on the so-called rumor that the Beauty and the Beast dark ride might be coming to Disneyland. In the Fantasyland area by the old canal boat ride used to be. The animatronics look amazing. Dave from Fresh Baked is the source. Well, thank you, Guy Disney, for the question. And shout out to Dave from Fresh Baked. I love what you guys do over there. I actually did a video recently, link up above, on this whole Fantasyland Beauty and the Beast rumor. And it's interesting. It's very interesting. And like he said, you know, Dave from Fresh Baked is reporting that this Beauty and the Beast ride from Tokyo will be going in the old motorboat cruise area. That's the rumor. But then recently Screamscape reported that it's actually going to go where Pinocchio and Snow White currently sits, that it's going to replace those two rides. So I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, I don't know where they're going to put it. I don't know if it's even going to end up here in Anaheim. But there's a lot of smoke here. So I do think there's fire. I do think that Disney is definitely looking at possible locations as to where to put it. And that's why we're getting multiple reports about the ride coming, but in different areas, right? Because Imagineering's considering multiple spots. They're trying to figure out where they can fit it. Okay, there's too many rumors right now in regards to this Beauty and the Beast attraction coming to Disneyland for there not to be some truth to it. There has to be some kind of internal discussion and debate at Imagineering for this attraction to be coming here. Otherwise, I really don't think multiple sources would be reporting on it like they have been. So I think it's coming, or they're considering at least. But we'll see what happens ultimately. Again, it's Disney. Anything can change. They might be considering it now. They might cancel those plans. We just don't know. Also, there are two things, as I mentioned in my video a few days ago, that I think bode well for the attraction. Number one, the live-action Beauty and the Beast made over $1 billion worldwide. So Disney definitely notices that. And the Red Rose Tavern was supposed to be temporary. And it's permanent. They actually recently made it a permanent addition, which shows me that they must have seen an uptick in the sales for that dining counter service restaurant since they converted it to Beauty and the Beast. So there's definitely a lot of things going on here with this. We'll have to keep an eye out, but I think the chances of it coming to Anaheim right now look pretty good. Thank you so much for the question. I do appreciate it. And the next question comes from Mark. And Mark is asking, what do you think will be the plans of Phase 2 of Marvel Land when Phase 1 opens, and where do you think it will be placed? Well, thank you, Mark, for this question. What do I think will be Phase 2? I think Phase 2 will be that rumored Avengers e-ticket coaster that we've been hearing about for a couple of years now. I think that will definitely be Phase 2. From what I'm hearing, it's supposed to go behind Mission Breakout in that empty area. And I think it's like I don't even know if it's a parking lot. It's just like an empty lot right behind Mission Breakout. So I think that it'll go there. Okay, definitely. I think that'll definitely be part of Phase 2. Also, the location of the animation building, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like to hear this, but the location of the animation building butting up against the breakout courtyard and being such a massive, massive building, I wouldn't be surprised if that building gets incorporated somehow into Phase 2. I don't know what, I don't know how, but it just seems like such a huge space. I can't imagine Disney overlooking it. So I have a feeling, I have a gut feeling that that animation building is going to be utilized for Marvel in some form or fashion. How? I have no idea. It's just too big and the location is just too prime for Disney to not utilize it in Marvel. So, and I love the animation building. I love it. I love going in there. I get goosebumps when I walk in there and I see all the animation and the music. It gives me goosebumps. I think it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. I would be sad to see it go. Unfortunately, the size and its location just doesn't bode well for it. I think it really is, its days are numbered, I do believe, and it will become something Marvel eventually. So, and maybe even Phase 2, we'll have to wait and see. So that concludes this Q&A video. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want your question answered in a future Q&A, you can comment below, or you can hit me up at OrangeGirl55 on Twitter. I love to hear from you guys. Thank you all for your questions. Really great questions. I got a lot of great ones this time. So please ask me more in the comments and on Twitter, and we'll do another Q&A really soon. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a magical day.